sports fans. Today is Wednesday, August 5th, 2026. You're watching Good Morning Sports Fans. Still not used to that. Got to get used to that. You're watching Good Morning Sports Fans, formerly known as RateGame Live on the RateGame Sports Network. I'll figure that out. Excuse me. Time for some coffee. So, the show, formerly known as RateGame Live, has been rebranded to Good Morning Sports Fans, which is on my personal YouTube channel. RateGame Guy removed the channel from RateGame Sports to RateGame Guy because the old channel was terrible at getting real people. And that was a self-inflicted YouTube rookie mistake. So, starting fresh on my personal channel, my name is Nick George, by the way. It's in the corner there, or your corner. And we are going to rock with this and grow the subscriber base and grow the audience brick by brick, as they say, day over day. So I will start by saying, smash the sub, man. Like and subscribe. Help me out. This is a morning show that is every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 a.m. Doing sports like nobody else. What does that mean? Well, because I have built a little app here, a little platform community that allows you, the sports fans, to rate games for free. I am also making a show every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Saturdays. My wife joins me. That is powered by the fans, the people on RateGame that are rating games. So quite literally, they shape the show. Again, RateGame is free. It's on iOS and Android. It's also a website, rategame.io. And very simple concept here, folks. It's in the name. You just rate sports games that you love to watch. If you're familiar with Letterboxd, if you're familiar with Belly for restaurants, if you're familiar with, I think it's called Untapped for beer, like beer connoisseurs. Same idea. Nothing crazy, nothing really novel here. You're just rating sports games. We're applying the same principle that's been around forever and throwing it at sports and making sure that there's no gambling whatsoever. It's about the game. It's for the love of the game, for sports in the purest, most simple sense of the word. So, if that's your jam, then welcome. Glad to have you. Check out RateGame. Hope to see you out there, or on there, rather. Again, it's a free account that you can make and maintain and log and just kind of build out your life in sports. So, without further ado, let me put up my little banner here, my little hashtag GMSF. Without further ado, we do like to start the show the same way. So there is some structure, there is some repeatability, we'll say. Something familiar that we can anchor ourselves to, kind of set the table for us. And that is by asking and then answering a simple single question. And that question is always, were the sports good? So I did say that the fans power the show, the people that are on the platform. And I mean it. I mean it when I say it. So this is our little handy dashboard. It is actually a public-facing dashboard, so you can access this yourself. Again, on the web, it's rategame.io. And the way that you can kind of orient yourself around this little dashboard here is the sentiment, right? What did we think? 0 to 10, we use our own scale. It's color-coded, so the numbers are correlated to the colors. Anything 6, 7, and above is green. Anything 3-4 to 6-6 is yellow. And anything 3-3 and below is red. Red is bad. Yellow is mid-table. Will Middlebrooks. Green means go. Green is good. So, mixed bag last night. But, if I'm being honest, light inventory. Only 2 leagues in action. WNBA and MLB. We are firmly in the dog days of summer. So, 16 games total on the slate in the last 24 hours. 132 ratings on those games. 295 overall on the platform. Platform is important because that is how we track the growth, the progress of RateGame, and we are pacing or tracking it against a 7-figure goal. So the 1 million ratings milestone is what we're working towards. 132 on the window means 132 ratings on those 16 games, 24 hours only. The 295 is any game on the platform outside of that 24-hour window, meaning historical games, games last week, game on Monday. So if you rated a game outside of the 24-hour window, that's where it goes, and that's where it counts. And then on Fridays, we check in on our goal. We check in on the progress we're making in bands of 100K. So that's what it looks like down there. 273. Got about 27,000 ratings until 300K. All right, so after we do that, we do this. We go back to our home base here, and we tee up our first topic du jour, our first little segment. Somebody made their pitching debut last night for their new ball club. Gentleman by the name of Tarek Skubal. So, lots going on in the last 48 hours in the world of baseball with the deadline. And now that the dust has settled today, or yesterday rather, was really the debut of a lot of new folks. And over the coming days, we'll see even more. But this was definitely the biggest of them all. Tarek Skubal's first start as a Dodger, I think, you know, in terms of anticipation, like you... maybe as like a Red Sox fan, you're excited to see what happens with Adley, because that's a pretty big deal that they got him. Maybe, yeah, I guess the Rays had Peralta, who got lit up. Certainly not as big a name as Tarek, but I would say of the same caliber. He's an ace, right? He's somebody who you would want to start in a game one. That's always like my, we'll say, criteria. It's like ace. Ace means what? Means game one of my World Series, my gotta have it, my, empty the clip. This person is on the mound for me. That is like an ace. Some teams have more than one. In the Dodgers case, they have like 4. But is Freddie Peralta one of those guys? I think for the Rays, right? I think he is now. So you had both of them on the mound last night, and both of them took L's. I say that with a smile on my face because I've not been shy about my stance going forward on how I'm going to look at and feel about this Los Angeles Dodger team. It's just more fun. It's more fun when there's like a villain. When there is a super villain in any league, it's just more fun. It's more fun. Especially, with the lockout looming. I'm certainly going to enjoy this version of the Dodgers. this villainous version. So, Skubal on the mound last night, making his debut. He looked pretty good, actually. I can't, come on here and say he got lit up, he got blown up, he looked out of sorts. No, that was Tarek Skubal. You definitely got Tarek Skubal. In fact, let's see. I think his first AB here, he struck out, I think it was PCA. I don't even have it up. Oh, wow, here he goes. Making his entrance. Got that Wrigley Ivy. That classic, iconic Wrigley Ivy. Let's take a look. Still weird to see him in this Dodger blue. I can't tell if that's like an overlay, whoever made this edit, or that's what Wrigley played. But either way, very funny. Let's see what you look like. Nice belt location. High-waisted. I love that Major League Baseball uniforms are like leather. Maybe not leather, but heavy duty, thick belt with the old school metal belt buckle. Like they could easily have some sports centric tech where the belt is like rubber, the way that like Apple Watches are, rubber, like sport focused. But no. Major League Baseball, you wear a proper uniform to work with your shirt tucked in and your belt buckled. It's awesome. Never change that, Major League Baseball.
Who's won back-to-back Cy Young Awards, and over the last 3+ seasons, 45-18 with a 2.46 ERA, the best in baseball. 2-2, and a strikeout. Sinker at 99 to get Crow-Armstrong, and that's how he begins his time in a Dodger uniform. Strikes out Bush. Skubal fires and puts bookend K's on a 1-2-3 second. Got a chase on a change and got his 4th K. And after giving up the home run to him, he strikes him out with a filthy curveball. His 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. 99 to strike out Crow-Armstrong. So it looks like Skubal's Dodger debut is complete. 6 innings, the 2 runs.
Yeah, so gave up 2 runs, and that was enough for the Cubs to take advantage. Solid outing. I think the story here, though, is not Skubal, but the Dodgers. The Dodgers have now lost 5 in a row. I think they're 13-15 since July. Uh-oh. That's not good. Saw that the Brewers were the first team to 70 wins. You would think it would be the Dodgers. Yeah, here we go. Look at Freddie. 5-game losing streak. Matching the number on the old jersey here. 13-15 since July 1st. Hate to see that. Hate to see that for the Dodgers. Wonder what's going on with them. I wonder if they'll figure it out. I don't know. They might not. I don't know if they have the personnel. Aside from Skubal's debut, we also had a return for Kyle Tucker, who if you're like me anyway, you may remember he used to be incredible. Still is, but on the Cubs specifically, he was fantastic. And he got the best of Skubal last night. I'm sorry, not Skubal. Whoever was on the mound for the Cubs, but he had a interesting night last night. I'll say that. Let's see the highs and lows for Mr. Tucker, because first and foremost, he had here it is right here. So wait, I'll show Tucker hitting the homer first. We'll give him the highlight first before the low light.
In a team like the Phillies. Tucker sends a high fly ball to left center field. Taylor to the track. Taylor to the wall. Goodbye. Kyle Tucker finds the seats to start the scoring. Doing it to his old team, and they'll let him hear it.
So the Boo Birds are out. Crushes one. That's the Kyle Tucker that I think the Dodger fans are excited to see a little flash of. And then I mentioned the highs and the lows. This is like such a freak baseball accident that happens. It just happens. You know, it's not the first time. But I imagine it hurts. Just get rattled like this.
And something about coming back to the booze and here in Chicago as he gets a helmet.
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
dang.
His head's been there for going on 29 years. Dang. Didn't just like show up.
Well, thank goodness it hit the helmet.
Ooh.
Something about.
See that little. The frame rate must have slowed down. Look at the scan. Look at the inertia.
Show up.
Well, thank goodness it hit the helmet.
Ouch. So, Cubs get the best of the Dodgers in Skubal's debut and Kyle Tucker's return. Also had a very cool moment for the Lombard family. So, I mentioned that, you know, with the trade deadline passing and now everybody, all these kind of pieces settling in, making debuts on their respective new teams, there's also a lot of opportunity for minor leaguers or folks that, you know, guys in the farm system that can now come up and either replace or, you know, get some at-bats in the bigs while some teams make playoff pushes, other teams just kind of try and figure out what the future might look like. So we're going to see a lot of that. And for the Yankees, that means we get George Lombard, who it seems like, you know, it's only been one game, but if I had to guess, I just don't think we're going to see Anthony Volpe anymore. I think his days as a Yankee are, at least in the big leagues, are over. Not like he didn't get a fair shake, though. I don't think if you're Anthony Volpe, you are feeling like you got the short end of the stick here. If anything, I think Baron Boone was way too patient with that guy. And maybe it's just because George wasn't ready. But, like, if you're seeing this, granted, again, it's the first game for this guy. And obviously I'm about to show a highlight here where he homers. But I just feel like the Yankee fans soured on Volpe months ago. Like maybe even like last year. Last year's defense was so bad. This year his defense didn't change. Yankees notorious for having defensive lapses. Go back to the 2024 World Series Game 5. Something happened in that game with Garrett Cole. I think it was the 5th inning. Notorious 5th inning. So, yeah, I mean, you're not going to do yourself any favors if you can't play defense for the New York Yankees. So I don't know what the scouting report is on this guy, George, but it seems like he can hit the ball.
The 0-2. Hit in the has entered the yard and left it.
All right, so that's George. George has a brother, Jacob. Jacob plays in the minor leagues. So imagine this like 48 hours for the Lombard family. George gets called up to the Yankees, making his debut. Jacob, the younger brother, is playing for the Jupiter Hammerheads. It's the Marlins minor leaguer. Earlier in the day.
They have no challenges remaining the rest of the game. Breaking ball, hit high in the air, deep left field, going back is Haskins. He turns, and this ball is gone. First hit, first RBI, and first professional home run for Marlins first-round draft pick Jacob Lombard, and we are tied at 1.
So both brothers making debuts. Both brothers homering. And then the dad, who I learned this morning, is the Detroit Tigers like bench coach. And so they were interviewing, here it is. They were interviewing him. Listen to this. So George gets the call up. They were planning on going to see Jacob initially, but then George gets the call up. So they pivot, like they did like a full redirect of their flights.
Well, we saw that as well, George. I'm going to start with you. You're the Tigers bench coach. Detroit's in Seattle right now. How smooth was the
Tigers bench coach, by the way? So Detroit was like, yeah, go see them. We're good here.
trip to New York?
I mean, I'll start with thanking the Tigers for allowing me to do this. Like, you don't ever get these days back. This was as emotional of any day we've had with our boys, and along with the draft and all this other stuff. So I really appreciate them letting me do this. But yeah, I got up in the morning. It's been a long day for everybody, but it's super excited.
Judy, Jacob gets drafted by the Marlins last month. George gets called up here. They're playing on the same day. How would you describe this summer for your family?
I mean, the whole year pretty much has been incredibly emotional, but especially.
So if you just caught that, I just picked up on this. Judy's the mom's name. Jacob's the little brother. So 2 J's. And then that's George Sr. and then George Jr. So you have Judy, George Jr., and Jacob in the Lombard family.
The last couple weeks between the draft and then last night when I just bought my ticket to go to Jacob's game and we had plans to go to his game today when George calls us about 11 o'clock at night to tell us the news, and everything was whirlwind.
So George called Judy to say that he got the call up, but they were going to go see Jacob. So Judy called George Sr., said George Jr. got the call up. We can't go see Jacob. So then Judy called George and said, George, we're going to come see you. She then called Jacob and said, Jacob, are you sure about this? Jacob said, go see George. Just another day in the Lombard family.
But we knew we had to be here. Even I told Jacob, I'm like, we feel bad. And I was like, are you guys kidding me? Like, you have to be there for George. I'm like, of course. So we're so happy to be here. And this.
Nice challenge for Ben Rice. All right, so icing on the cake for this entire little insane sequence of events here is that the home run that George hit at Yankee Stadium was close to being caught by the worst person in baseball, Zack Hample. I cannot stand this guy. He's just such a weirdo. He's a thief of joy. He catches home run balls and keeps them and doesn't give them or doesn't even give anybody around him an opportunity. It's just bizarre. He's just a weird guy. Weird vibes. Weird what he does. That's him right here. Going for George Lombard Jr.'s first major league home run.
Who catches the ball right? Well, it ended up with Bruce Roberts. Got it in his hat.
Hey, I did that on Seinfeld. I didn't get that. I didn't get a ball. I got nothing.
That makes me so happy, dude. That makes me so happy. Look at it. He's in prime position to catch this. This is like, Hample has probably made this catch more times than, probably 100 times he makes this catch, or has.
Who catches the ball right? Well, it ended up with Bruce Roberts.
That's amazing, the old hat catch. He's trying so hard, too. Like, look at this effort. And what kind of glove is that? That almost looks like a special glove with, like, stickum in it or something.
Who catches the ball right?
Oh, it's amazing.
Well,
That makes
it
me
ended
so
up.
happy. That makes me so happy. All right. So, congratulations to the Lombard family for just an insane, as Judy said, 24 hours. Next up, we have the Rangers. Flames, Texas Rangers. Texas walk-off Rangers. Not the way you want to walk it off, but a walk-off nonetheless. Let's play the clip.
Smith's 2-2 pitch. There's a fly ball, right field. Lee racing back, and he falls down! And this one is over!
It sucks. It's not just that he fell down, it's that it bounced into the stands. So that's automatic double. Game over. That is just like a terrible, terrible, terrible way to lose a baseball game. One more time.
Smith's 2-2 pitch. There's a fly ball, right field. Lee racing back, and he falls down! And this one is over!
Ooh, he is like, oh man. Camera's right on him. Yeah, she plays this a lot cooler than I would have. So, gotta get up. So tough. So, Rangers walk it off with the old bouncer into the stands, and the Red Sox are the hottest team in baseball. And I don't know, call me crazy. They seem like they're on a collision course right now to play the Los Angeles Dodgers in the World Series, a team who they just swept in Los Angeles. Let's see the grand slam from Mr. Caleb Durbin.
A lot compared to it.
Swinging a drive. That one sucked high and deep.
I think I was delayed. Hold on one second. I'll run this back.
A lot compared to it.
Swinging a drive. That one sucked high and deep. It's going to go into the monster seats for a grand slam.
A lot. They're just hitting the cover off the ball right now. They cannot be stopped. It's just an insane run here. And so that is the Summer Sox Off, the annual gather. This is so great, dude. So him and Bill Belichick are piercing brothers. That's so crazy. Oh, man. The things you do for love, I guess. I don't know. He's just so far gone, man. It's crazy. Like, they say that, stuff like this will be studied. Yeah, it's like this should actually be studied. The timeline of events here is so insane to me. This guy was like the most untouchable football coach of all time. And now you can't think about him without her. You can't have the conversation. It's like Bill Belichick, and we're like not even 5 years removed from that Patriots dynasty. Or maybe we are. Maybe it's like the 5-year anniversary. I don't know. Since him and Brady were together. But if you were to sit here and say, yeah, we don't, in the year 2026, we actually don't think about Bill Belichick and coaching. We don't? No. It's the most bizarre thing of all time. He's got a nipple piercing and a 25-year-old girlfriend. I'm sorry, what? The Bill Belichick that has 6 Super Bowls with Tom Brady? That guy? That same guy? Are you sure about that? Oh, yeah. And also he coaches UNC football. Got it. Same guy. Same guy with the nipple ring. And the head coach of UNC football also has the most Super Bowls of any coach. Same guy. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. He'll just take it. He'll take it as a Jets fan. Not much else I can take. It's been 5,656 days since the Jets were last in a playoff game. So if there was any question how I'm doing, how the Jets are doing, it brings me comfort to see stuff like that. All right. The only other thing I had for us today was just the fact that I guess we could look at it on the web. On the web, on RateGame.io, we have soft launched the Pick'em Challenges. So this is a brand new feature on RateGame, launched just in time for football season. And I say that with the double entendre. We have football, aka soccer. We added 3 new leagues, 3 new international leagues. I'll wait for them to scroll up top. There we go. Off of the success of the World Cup and all of the international sports fans that found RateGame, we have La Liga, Serie A, Bundesliga, Ligue 1, and Champions League. So that's actually 5. We've had the Champions League going back to last year, but that was only for the quarterfinals. So now, with this upcoming season upon us, we have added these international leagues, and then we're also launching a first of its kind Pick'em Challenge minigame. So you can actually come in here and you can create your own. You can create your own Pick'em Challenge, invite whoever you want. I think the limit is 5 to join, 5 to create, and they're all private. So the hope is that folks that are already on RateGame invite folks that aren't. You kind of come in, check us out. Just another reason to give us a try. And yeah, I always say, which I really mean here, you come to RateGame because maybe you like free stuff. You stay because your friends are here. And oh yeah, it's fun. So it's free, it's fun for fans of all ages. And that is what I am hoping for with this new Pick'em Challenge feature. People helping people. People inviting people to play the Pick'em Challenge for free. Also, no limit to how many people you can invite. So if you got friends, whether they're on RateGame or not, you shoot them an invite, you send it to the group text. Boom, it's a party. And that's what it's all about. Yeah, and you can have 2 leagues, up to 2 leagues. So you can pick, let's say, like the Bundesliga and La Liga, if you want to do a pick'em challenge for that. You can also do, it doesn't have to be the same sport. So you can do baseball, WNBA. You could do WNBA and NFL. You can do college basketball and NBA. 5 to create, 5 to join. And then I will be creating the public ones, which will be app-wide. So the public pick'em challenges going forward will be for anybody. Anybody can join, anybody can play. But those will be a little bit longer because they'll probably last the entire season. Probably have one for the regular season and then one for the playoffs, which I know is not a thing in these international football leagues, but for Champions League, certainly. And then for American sports, American football, American basketball, we'll do a regular season. And then obviously for college, we have March Madness. For the NFL and for the NBA, we have playoffs, hockey, same deal. So very excited about this new feature, Pick'em Challenge. It's free. It's fun. There's absolutely zero money wagering involved. It is the lowest of stakes, literally just bragging rights. Make picks, see if you win or lost, see how many you got right. If you get more right than your friends, that's it. All right, folks, that's it for me today. Today is Wednesday. The New York Knicks are your 2026 NBA champions. This is my guy, your NBA Finals MVP, Jalen Brunson. Reminder that RateGame is free. It is fun. It is for fans of all ages. It's a great day to rate some games. See you back here, same time, Friday.